Mortal Kombat Legends: Scorpion's Revenge, directed by Ethan Spalding, is an animated film based on the Mortal Kombat video game series. This film follows Scorpion in his pursuit of revenge, as well as other famous Mortal Kombat characters as they battle for the well-being of their realm. As Scorpion and others battle it out in Mortal Kombat, carnage ensues. Alright, so my brother approached me the other night about watching this new Mortal Kombat movie, and I was like, I don't know. I mean, I've kind of fallen out of love with the Mortal Kombat franchise in recent years because I remember how bad the films were from the 90s. And with the video games, I've always really enjoyed playing them. The gameplay aspects are great. It's a lot of fun fights and things like that. But I always felt like I wanted a little bit more out of the stories. But eventually I thought, hey, let's give this movie a shot and see what it has to offer. Well, I'm really glad I did, because this film has reinvigorated my love for the Mortal Kombat franchise. This film is what the 90s films should have been and could have been. Violent, over-the-top films with rich characters inhabiting a fun universe. Doesn't necessarily need to be any more complicated than that, just capitalizing on what makes the franchise fun and engaging. Scorpion's Revenge delivers that because it plays to the strength of Mortal Kombat, the combat and the characters. The film focuses on Scorpion for a decent portion of it, mostly on his quest for revenge for someone that's wronged him, but the film also goes into the Mortal Kombat tournament for a lot of it as well, sort of making the Scorpion story a little bit secondary. This is probably the only thing I didn't love about the film, the fact that Scorpion takes center stage until he doesn't, and the film decides that it has so much to accomplish with like 50 other characters at a Mortal Kombat tournament. But other than that, I think this movie is great and certainly worthy of your time if you're a fan of the franchise. What it does, like I mentioned, is that it plays to the strengths of the characters. It's sort of like an Avengers film in the sense that it gives each character a dedicated scene or amount of time to showcase who they are and what they can do. I found value in every single character because they all fit perfectly within this universe, and they also play their part, however significant that may be, in service of a fun and action-packed story. I think there's a lot of fan service going on in this film, admittedly, which isn't a bad thing because I think it only feels like fan service if you at least have a minimal understanding of who the characters are. If you see Reptile or Baraka, for example, you're able to have fun with the character and enjoy their role in the film despite it not being a large one because you know who that character is. There's a lot of characters in this movie, but they're all interesting in their own way. Mortal Kombat has always delivered characters that feel totally distinct and separate from the others in the universe. Every character has a distinct look, a fighting style, and a personality. This adds a lot of entertainment because it's engaging as a viewer to watch all these creative characters, battle it out in some seriously badass ways. The strengths of Mortal Kombat, as I mentioned a few times now, have always lied in the characters and the combat, and those strengths are maximized to their full potential in this movie. The fight scenes hold nothing back whatsoever. This is definitely not an animated film for kids. It's super violent and, over the top, and it results in some seriously graphic deaths, albeit animated ones, but still pretty graphic. But the fight scenes impress me because every single time they feel super well choreographed. Each fight scene feels frantic, but also collected at the same time. Frantic in the sense that there's a lot of movement and chaos happening, but also collected in terms of how the fighters deal with their foe. Each fighter brings that distinct fighting style to the battle and allows for no two battles to feel the same. This again plays to the strengths of the characters through an illustration of the unique fighting styles. I like how this film approaches the violence because it feels so true to Mortal Kombat and unique in its own right. This is a reason I love, for example, the violence in John Wick films. It always feels like I'm seeing something that I can't find anywhere else. It feels like a unique vision that's clear and consistent, and I loved it for it. However, over the top and crazy it may become in Mortal Kombat, it works great in this film. The final thing I want to mention, though, is the animation. While I wouldn't say this film looks as good as, Coco, it's not really meant to be that kind of animation. I would say it's more so along the lines of Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh! And what that looks like back in the day. It doesn't look lifelike like a Pixar film. It looks more like a cartoon, but still very immersive. The animation makes the chaos ensuing on screen look very exciting in all its vibrancy and anarchy, and, for lack of a better term, just violence and craziness. And the environments feel fantastical and allow the story to go to worlds that feel exciting and new. The environments, characters, and battle sequences all look great and feel immersive due in part to very quality animation. But overall, I would highly recommend this film. If you're a fan of the Mortal Kombat franchise, I think you definitely need to watch it. And if you like action films and animated films, I'd say this should be on your radar at least. As for the pros cons, for the pros, Mortal Kombat Legends: Scorpion's Revenge delivers great characters, awesome fight scenes, great animation, and a very unique identity. As for the cons, I'd say the film goes away from Scorpion a bit too much after establishing him as the main character. There's a lot to accomplish, so I get it, but I would have liked to see more of his revenge story take center stage. I'm still going to give Mortal Kombat Scorpion's Revenge a 9 out of 10 and highly recommend you check it out. If you like the Mortal Kombat franchise, you should love this one. If you don't know much about it, but you like action and animation, give it a shot. So did you guys see Mortal Kombat Legends Scorpion's Revenge yet? If so, let me know what you thought of it. If not, let me know whether you plan to watch it or not in the comments below. That's all from me in this review though, so I'll see you guys in the next one. This is WillFoxification signing off.